Okay, so today is the 4th of Av, and so we're just in time. We're starting chapter 6. What is the English? 29. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Took years to make the switch,
You don't need to switch. You have two.
No, but you know, but to make
you have two. Yeah. Okay, so we're starting chapter 6. The reason it's just in time is because tomorrow is the Yortzeit, the day of passing of the Arizal. And chapter 6 is dedicated to the Arizal's Chiddush of the Tzimtzum. So until now we've done everything without the Tzimtzum. Without the Tzimtzum, without the contraction. Now he's going to insert the Tzimtzum. And he's going to insert it in a very interesting way, which connects to how it was written in the second part of the Tanya. The second part of the Tanya is called Shar Yichud Ve'emunah, the gate of unification and faith. And it also discusses the Tzimtzum in a different perspective, from a different perspective. That was written, of course, by the Alter Rebbe, by the first Rebbe of Chabad. And there he discusses the Tzimtzum in the sense of also of creation, but from a different point of view in creation. He's not so concerned there with the questions that we had here. He's concerned with a bigger analysis there. But in any case, there's a lot of parallels. And the Tzemach Tzedek here in Derech Mitzvosecha, we'll see in a moment how he introduces the Arizal. It's very, very interesting. And it sheds a lot of light on how the Alter Rebbe saw the Arizal. So let's see. V'nei b'seder hitavut ha'olamot. Now he says, in the order of the coming into being of the worlds out of Hashem, Hodi'anu Hashem yitbarach al yedei nevi'einu v'chachameinu ha'kedoshim. Hashem has has brought to our knowledge through whom? Through our prophets and our wise men and our sages. Why does he put them together? They're very different. The prophets use prophecy, and the sages use intellect. They're completely different faculties. They're opposites. In the Talmud, in Bava Basra, there's a whole discussion of Chacham Adif Minavi, that a wise man, a sage, is preferable to a prophet. And why is that? Because the prophet speaks in parables, in metaphors, in similes, and
he might not even understand.
And many times he doesn't know what their meaning exactly is. But the sage, the whole preference of the sage is that he's very clear. Now that's not entirely true. Why? Because we see, for instance, the beginning of wisdom, the beginning of the books of wisdom, is Proverbs. And Proverbs is all Proverbs. It's all metaphor. So it's not exactly true that wise men don't use parables and similes and metaphors. It's a good question. Is he a prophet? So we don't have prophecies from him. We only have books of wisdom. He and David are questionable.
They are questionable.
Both of them. We know that they had what we call divine spirit, Ruach HaKodesh. But we don't usually associate them with prophecy.
Right.
Again, with David, there's a question because he was once wearing. In at least one of the instances in the book of Samuel, he was wearing a garment that is ascribed to prophets. The Rebbe has a long sikh about it. Is this or isn't it? But Shlomo is not associated with prophecy. He's wisdom, and he's considered to be lower wisdom. Moses is considered to be the higher wisdom, and Shlomo is the lower wisdom. They have the same letters in their names, so they're connected. Tfilah leMoshe, we use this, we usually the beginning of chapter 90, I believe, in Psalms, we associate with from Moses and for Shlomo. Like there's a lot of discussion about that. But so what does he say? What is he saying here? He's saying the prophets and the wise men God brought to our knowledge through them some principles about creation that are not in the Torah. That you can't come to them from the Torah. You can come to it retroactively. After you've heard the principle, you can find it in a way, in the wording of the Torah. And what is it? So here he's. So which one does he think that the Arizal is? Is he the prophets or the wise men? So I think that the reason he's mentioning it this way through our prophets and through our wise men is because he wants to stress that what the Arizal said was a parable, and so that we don't think. Thank you very much, sir. So we don't think, because we said that what the Arizal says about contraction was understood literally by people. And if it's understood literally, it's as if saying that God is not present in reality. And that's a very harsh and difficult statement to say, and it's not true. But you could understand it that way. And in Sha'ar Yichud Ve'emunah, the Alter Rebbe very much rebukes the people who understand it this way. He says, some wise men in their own eyes came to the conclusion what the Arizal was saying was literal. He says, they're wise in their own eyes, meaning they see themselves as wise, but they're not very wise if that's what they understand. So how do you need to understand this? Like many things, if it's wisdom and if it's prophecy, whichever it is, and the Arizal is close to prophecy at least, is a wise man who's using some kind of divine spirit, that what he's saying is a parable. What he's saying is like a prophecy in a certain sense, not in the sense that it's a prophecy that's divulging the past or the future or anything like that, rather that it's using metaphoric language. And you have to read it like you would read a prophecy. And the difference still would be between metaphors used by a prophet and metaphors used by a wise man is, like you said, that sometimes even the prophet doesn't know exactly what the metaphor means. And by wisdom, the point wasn't to confuse someone. It was rather meant to, it wasn't meant even to conceal, it was meant to bring it down, to use a metaphor that really captures the essence of the idea. Okay, so we'll continue tomorrow.